So today I'm focusing on making a bowl. This is about 2 pounds of clay. I want to show you various of shape when you are making the bowl. Center first. So making the bowl is a little bit different from making a vase, because when you open your base, you want to make a little curve instead of going like 90 degrees on the floor. Okay, so the inside of the curve is inside of the bowl is a curve. So when I'm drilling it, I'm basically using the curved part of the fingertips. So just leave a little bit of slope instead of making it flat. Okay, and you can use the needle tool to check the thickness. Right, and then for my initial, since this piece of clay, it's not very big, so I'm just going to initial lifting using my left hand. Okay, pinch and slightly move up. Pinch, and then my right hand is supporting bracing my left thumb, and maybe hold it on the rim too. So slightly pinch and lift. And compress the rim. And make sure it is slippery. So if you have a slip, remove it from your fingertips and put it back to the surface. And add a little bit of water. Just enough water. You don't need to add too much water. Slip and water mixed together is the best. Alright, and I'm squeezing the base and kind of squeeze it in so the base will be smaller. And I could get to use the clay in the corner too. And it's just like the lifting method again. The thumb and the inside finger, pinch the clay and slightly pull. You don't need to pull it straight because you're making the bowl a little bit open. So slightly make it wider when you lift it up. Compress the rim. For compressing, okay, this is what I do. The left hand, the thumb and the fingers inside, pinch, okay, pinch the rim. And this right fingertip, kind of push it down. You don't need to push very hard. So kind of squeeze it, okay. 3-point, this, and then a pinch. Okay. I'm not going to keep on lifting it, but make sure the wall is slippery. So I am adding a little bit of water and also adding a little bit slip. That way, if you are limited using the water, because the porcelain, you don't want to have too much water. Okay, this is porcelain, and too much water, you weaken the wall. Right, so I'm going to show you a various shape of the bowl. So the shaping is important. So if you want a base a little bit wider, when you are shaping it, the inside hand could come up a little bit harder. So the bottom part is a bit out, and then on the top a little bit straight. So this is the one kind of a shape. I'm not finished the inside yet. I will do it at the final, but just for the shape, for the look from this angle, you will see that the ball is this kind of shape. And then I want to gradually change the shape. Now, this part is nice and curved, but if I keep on pulling wider, okay, the rim will be wider. So I'm just stretching a bit more from the top. To make the rim a bit wider. Right, so this is another shape. Just remember the shape, okay, I show you from the angle. Little open and now I'm gradually open and wider. I'm keep on open and wider. Okay, open it wider, so this is the different feeling of the bowl. Okay, I'm gonna keep on doing it. The reason I could do that is because when I'm throwing, I leave the rim a bit thicker, so now the rim is still good enough, so I can keep on open it wider. So if I stop right here, this is another bowl, okay? Right, so I'm keep on widening. Right. So from the beginning, the rim is narrow. Now I gradually open it up, so you will see the progress of the bowl. And I'm going to finish the inside. So to finish it up, and usually the this part here is a little bit bumpy here. Usually you might have some clay, extra clay here. So you want to push it down. Okay, push that. You can use the wooden rib, the regular rib from your basic kit. You have this kind of rib to push it, but I have mine on design of the wooden rib that is in the circular shape, and this is very very good and very easy to use. Just compress on the inner part slightly. And then we use a sponge to remove the water. Slightly tip over my round rib. So I'm getting the curve to follow through all the way from the center to the outer part. And sometimes if you don't like the wooden texture from the rib, you can remove it, or from your sponge. I was using a sponge to clean up. You could use a metal rib to smooth the surface. So this is what I do. Make sure the metal rib is very sharp, so when you are using the rib to compress, you don't want to cross over the very center point. Okay, if you cross over, you are going to gouge it, so it's not going to look beautiful. So you probably want to go maybe a quarter inch away from the very center point and try to compress it. And you can bend the rib, okay, slightly bend the rib, so there's a curve. And that the curve, you compress using the curve, so let it follow through all the way from that very center point, maybe a quarter inch away from the very center point, and then you compress and you go. You don't hold it to more too vertical. Okay, hold it more horizontal. Okay, horizontal, not this, but this, and slightly bend it. You can use your both hand to bend it. And you want to do this slowly though. Right. So the now the inside follow all the way through from the very center. This part here, you can just use the tip of your thumb, just compress it. Take care of the very center point. And if you like the rim a bit thinner looking, okay, you could use a chamois to compress it. use your both fingertip just to pinch. Pinch the rim. So visually it looks thinner, so the whole piece looks lighter. Actually, it's not that thin. It's just you are pinch the very end. So I make it into a shallow bowl. Okay, just a simple bowl, 2 pounds of clay. Depending on your design, you want about more or closed form, or you want to open it wider. Gradually do it. So I show you the progressive stage of each bowl, the looking. And use a little bit of water. You see that my hand is dry. And my splash pan is clean. It's dry, not a drip of water. Okay, you don't need to use a lot of water. Okay? Just use water efficiently. All right, so again, let me cut it open. So you see that after I stretch it, this part is very thin, okay, fairly thin. And still leave quite a bit of a clay there. So when I'm doing the trimming, I could remove a bit more clay from there, cut, make a foot, and then there, cut, make a foot, and remove this corner of clay off, okay, that clay. You need to have a little bit of clay there to support it, but once it's the hard stage, you could remove this part of clay easily, okay? Remove it easily. And the whole piece will look more elegant because the foot is smaller. But when you're throwing in a little bit clay there in the corner, so it will support the whole shape. And using the wooden rib, you could get the inside, okay? Inside nicely compressed, okay? That's the wooden rib. Okay, so hope this helped, and you can design your own bowl depending on your personal preference. All right, see you next time.